business to me is not about feeling good every single day. To me, it's about doing the work and making moves, even when it feels really hard. And you're going to have hard days. And I think that one of the things I notice about the entrepreneurs that make it is that they are able to get through the hard days and ground themselves and know that they're building something for the longevity. So here's the deal. Let's move into kind of like this shift from like this nice girl energy to this savage CEO. What's up, Savages? You're listening to the Strategies of a Savage CEO podcast. I'm your host, Demi, and if you don't know me yet, it is no wonder you're not making the sales that you want to be making in your business, but that's about to fucking change. I've scaled my business to almost 8 figures in revenue over the past few years, and I've helped thousands of women make the money they deserve. Not through fluffy things like manifestation or energy work, but through real, non-BS money-making strategies that drive insane results. I'm talking things like crafting powerful content rooted in actual human psychology so that you know every single time you post it's going to convert. I'm talking about designing irresistible offers and building recurring revenue streams in your business structure. I'm talking about implementing real systems that actually scale your business into a 7-figure brand. It is time for you to go full savage mode with your business strategy to truly get the results you not only want, but deserve. So let's get into the episode. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Strategies of a Savage CEO, the podcast. I am your host, Demi, and I am so excited to talk to you about why we are going through an entire brand evolution and why we've decided to take Demi's diary and turn it into the Strategies of a Savage CEO podcast from here on out. So, before I get into this episode, I have to have a Taylor Swift pun, and that is that old Demi cannot come to the phone right now because she is officially dead. I am about to enter my 30th year, and as we also entered 2025, I did a lot of reflection around the brand that I was building as a whole and how I've also changed as not only a person, but a mentor, and where I've really found my space in this industry and my lane in an even bigger way. And I wanted to bring that into this brand new year with me and to provide it for you as well, because I truly believe that there was an area I was not doubling down on as much as I even needed to be. And there was a really big gap in this industry for real strategic work and real business mentorship. And I knew that typically when there is a gap, when you're saying that something's hard to find and you're hearing multiple women, my clients even saying that, having mentorship like mine was very hard to find, I knew that I needed to get louder about why I am so good at what I do and just supporting you on my expertise and sharing more of the realities of why women are not seeing the results that they want to be seeing in business and what's actually missing so that they can solve those problems and start to really build real companies. And I really wanted to move away from, having a business or even just like attracting clients that just wanted to have an Instagram business. And I wanted to build something a lot bigger with women that have a really big vision for what they want their business and brand to be. Because what I've noticed in running this business for years now and working with thousands of women globally is that there is a really big difference between someone who says that they want, to make a lot of money and build a really big brand, especially going to the 7-figure mark, and somebody that actually can make it happen and does what it takes to make it happen and is able to view a company from a wider lens as opposed to what am I posting today, right? So the whole evolution of this brand is also a reflection of who I am as a business mentor and where I take you, because I have helped so many women scale to multi 6, 7 figures in their business. And I see, like I said, a lot of the common characteristics of the women that have had those results. And I wanted to bring more of that to light. And again, that all just comes back to really having a solid strategy. And so I've shed that version of myself that, when I started this business, it was so much of the pinks and the cutesiness and the girl boss vibes. And I really wanted to bring in the fact that since day one, I've been savage about strategy, and I do have a lot of masculinity in regards to my energy for business. And I think that instead of shying away from that or feeling shame around that, I need to turn up the dial on that and show you, because that's what most of people in this online space are actually missing, right? And we've seen so much of people wanting lean back sales and going into the feminine and all of that. But the reality is, those people are not seeing results inside of their business. And so I think that you need to find a balance for both. But one thing that I do extremely well is make sure that you are completely solid in the foundational strategic aspects that make up a business, right? So I wanted to share this episode to show you that it's okay to, number one, turn up the dial on areas that you know you are better than anybody else at and scream it from the rooftops, and also change your brand, right? Change what, people are used to, and be okay to go in a little bit of a new direction. And while none of my values have changed, I still focus on strategy. I've been very strategy focused since day one. I'm just turning up the notch and making sure that the brand is cohesive overall, right? So it didn't make sense to have Demi's diary where it was more of like oh, let me show you a little bit more of the feel good and the behind the scenes. And we had so many guest episodes that weren't even necessarily promoting my brand and what I want this podcast and what I want the topics of conversation to be. And so while I'm so grateful for that evolution, and we've been running the podcast Demi's Diary since 2022, so we've had a lot of years running, it was time to refresh and give you guys what I know is missing from your lives right now and your business right now, and that is being an absolute savage about your strategy. So let's dive in, right? First of all, Demi's Diary. It was personal. It was a behind the scenes kind of vibe. It was a way to really connect with you on that deeper level. And I still want to bring that into the Strategies of a Savage CEO podcast. I still think that there's a lot of room to take you behind the scenes and show you aspects of my life, but that in a way that's more relatable to the strategic pieces that you're going to need to see the results that you want inside of your business, right? I am here to help you make money. That is what I am so freaking good at when it comes to business strategy, whether it's from your launches, your content, your sales processes, your back end systems, the way that you are using psychology, even inside of your brand. I want to teach you strategy, because strategy is what gets you paid, right? And you can work on your energy all day and you can manifest and you can do all of these things. But the reality of it is, if you don't have that solid foundation to fall back on, then you're never going, it doesn't matter how much energy, work, manifestation, affirmations, or whatever that you do. You're never going to scale to 50K, 100K, whatever it is, months that you want to be making, and be able to retain them. One thing that I really pride myself on, and that I think is the biggest flex of all, is the consistency that my business has been able to have for the past, since I've started. I've always grown. We hit six figures very fast because of my strategies, but then we scaled to multi-millions very fast as well. And we haven't dipped below, right? We've been having consistent six-figure to multi-six-figure cash months in the business for the past 3 years now. And that is not luck, that is pure strategy. And this is what I also want to open up real conversations around, is that every single month is not going to be your biggest ever, but you should have a business that strategically puts you to a place that allows you to stack income, stack cash, and of course, really build for the long term. And like I said, not every single month is going to be your best, but you should not be on a consistent roller coaster. You should know that you have recurring revenue coming in. You should know that your business shouldn't look like an up and down roller coaster. It's okay to have it a little bit of some waves in there, but being on a roller coaster is no good for anybody's nervous system. And that to me means you don't have a sustainable business. I've seen it a lot of times where women are really struggling to hit their revenue goals, but they don't actually have the basics of strategy in place, or they're trying to skip a lot of steps, right? We see this a lot with women that will come in and they'll look at what somebody who is already running a multi seven figure business is doing and try to mimic that or copy that when they have, not even hit their multi six figure mark yet. And so I also wanted this to be a place of, let me bring you back to reality. We're going to leave our ego at the door. There, like, put it in a jar, put it away. There is no room for that here. And we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, dirty work of what it takes to actually build. And if that's something that you're unwilling to do, then you shouldn't be an entrepreneur, right? If you're going to have really high expectations or standards or want immediate success or results, and you're not willing to put off the free class or do a live launch or show up every single day or go live or whatever it is that needs to be done to get to the results that you want, then this is probably not a place for you, because I'm going to call you out on a lot of shit. And I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff that you probably don't want to hear, but actually need to hear if you want to see the results that you want, right? This is not a place like where I'm going to coddle you at all. I want to see you win. I want to see you get the results. And I know what that takes, right? After building this business, after helping thousands of women do the same, I know what it takes. And so what strategies of a savage CEO is going to be is, really realistically, we're going to be having conversations about this industry. We're going to be having conversations about real strategy that you should be putting in place, how to build offer suites, the type of content to be posting, really like high level strategic things that hold a lot of people back if they are missing. And I wanted to bring that to light to showcase this to you, because this is the work that I do and this is what I am truly an expert in. Now, let me hit you with some truth for a hot second, okay? Like, I went to business school. I did a 4-year degree in consumer behavior and marketing and business. And in any of those classrooms, for 4 entire years, they did not teach anything on energy or manifestation. Okay. So that stuff, like, that is not what you are going to get from me. I am not a woo woo girly. Okay. I definitely have beliefs. I believe in, outside forces. I believe in spirituality and I respect those things so much, but that is just not who I am. I have not built to multi-millions by journaling every morning. I have not built to multi-millions by having, I don't know, some sort of manifestation morning routine that takes 5 hours. Like, I have not built to multi-millions by lean back energy and hoping and wishing that sales will come. I have built to multi-millions through strategic hard work. And so, good vibes alone and hype up sessions are not what you're going to get here. You're going to be really activated and you're going to be pushed and challenged to actually take that next step or go do this action, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to lead you to the results that you want, right? Hey Savages, Demi here. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I've got a very quick but game-changing message for you. If you are ready to take your content from being a nice girl to a mother effing boss, and not only create content that demands attention and respect, but actually attracts high level, high paying clients that see you as the authority and best option to work with, I want to invite you to come into my Savage Content Collective membership. This is the place where women just like you are taking my exact strategies for posting and content prompts and turning them into daily sales. I'm talking about women making $45,000 in just 3 weeks after a complete sales drought, or women that have been attracting 5-figure painful clients and having their fastest sales ever after posting. If you are ready to stop guessing and start generating real revenue from your content, this is for you. And when you join, you're going to get immediate access to weeks of content prompts and some of my best social media trainings. If you DM me the word podcast on Instagram right now, I am going to send you a special discount to actually join the Savage Content Collective. It is time for you to stop posting any old content and actually start getting paid high ticket and attracting the best clients for you from your content. Now let's get back into the episode. What I always say as well is, like, a lot of mindset things, that you have could also really just be solved by you getting into action. You're in a funk, get up off your ass and go post on your stories. Get yourself out of it. Like, you taking that action and knowing exactly how to put the strategy into place to actually start seeing a result is what's going to help you get your spark back. It's what's going to help you get out of that funk, right? I see it so many times. And so business to me is not about feeling good every single day. To me, it's about doing the work and making moves even when it feels really hard. And you're going to have hard days. And I think that one of the things I notice about the entrepreneurs that make it is that they are able to get through the hard days and ground themselves and know that they're building something for the longevity. So here's the deal. Let's move into kind of like this shift from like this nice girl energy to this savage CEO. Now, I've never been one to coddle, and I think that's been pretty apparent in my messaging overall. But my brand, the way that it looks hasn't necessarily reflected that. And I even posted this reel the other day where it showed my income from when I was posting things with my pink branding and in my tutu and like with my, like, it just felt like really little girl energy, to be honest. And I posted what my income looked like when I had a brand like that and I was making really good money. Let's not get that wrong. Like I was making seven figures, but a lot of that had to do with my messaging, not just my branding, but I wanted to actually skyrocket. So the two had to start talking to each other and making sense for when you come to my page, yet that my messaging matches up with how I look, right? And this is something that we shifted early in 2025. And that's why in January of 2025, we actually had a $260,000 cash month to start the year off. And that has, I believe, everything to do with the fact that I matched my branding and how I was feeling on the inside to how I looked on the outside and what I wanted people to perceive, because perception is people's reality, right? Like, let's just be honest, branding matters. The way you show up, the way you look, it matters. If you're showing up with a coffee stain and messy hair and all this shit, a messy room or whatever it is, like, I don't want to buy from you because that makes me feel like your programs are going to be messy, your client experience is going to be shit. Like, I'm not buying from you if you can't even take care of yourself. If you don't, you're not going to show, like, it just is not the vibe, right? And again, like, when you have the pink pretty branding, like, I truly believe that people see you as more of like a friend and more of like the person that they can walk over, versus I didn't want to be that person anymore. And while I have very strong boundaries and very strong leadership, like I said, I just felt like my branding on the outside didn't correlate to the person that I was and the mentor that I was and the leader that I was on the inside, and what my clients were actually getting when they worked with me versus what they were seeing. And so that had to change, right? And so this is also a reason why we are significantly up over last year at about 150% over where we were last year. And that has everything to do with, yes, the compounding strategy of a year of work, but also the fact that we now are seeing more pay inflows. We're seeing people want to come in and even pay bigger, move faster. And it all has to do with the way that I've been showing up, right? That is a strategy in itself for the business. Okay. And the next thing is, like, as I've made more money in business and as I have really wanted to scale a company, I don't have as much time anymore to be people's friend. I don't have as much time to be connecting in the DMs. I don't have as much time to be on live. I don't have as much time as I did because I'm busy managing a team. I'm busy serving the hell out of my clients. I'm busy doing things on the back end that are projects like this podcast and our YouTube channel and our Pinterest, and like taking this brand to be something so much bigger. And I don't have as much time as I used to dilly dally. I'm not answering questions in the DMs about offers anymore. Like, you want to buy my $22 offer, buy my $22 offer. I don't have time to answer your question. You're getting, like, you'll be left on red. Like, I'm not here to be anybody's friend. I'm here to get you results. And I think that really needed to start coming off in my branding a lot more and my messaging even more as well, right? I wanted to think bigger picture. And so when I think about the brand overall and what I was known for, I didn't really have anything that was like a coin saying for my people, or just something that people knew my brand for, besides like, oh, Demi, it's like pink vibes and fun and bubbly and cool. But I wanted to be known as a savage. Like, you want to come to me when you want results. Like, and that's how I've always viewed myself, as I'm the mentor that gets you results. I'm the mentor you hire when you're ready to like actually get the strategic action steps and stop dilly-dallying and do the work, right? And this is why my clients get results so fast when they work with me. And I think that I didn't want to be known for the pink anymore. I wanted to be known for my expertise. And while I'm known for content and I'm known for, scaling and strategy, it just wasn't landing in the way that I wanted it to. And so when you think about building a company on a global scale and a bigger scale, you need to have a brand that people can really relate to and that builds a trust and authority right off the bat. And so, when we think about YouTube and the podcast and the website and the searchability of everything, I wanted to be known for being a savage for strategy and for business and for making money. And I wanted women to feel really empowered by that. I wanted to have real conversations about money and, even things like that are real just business strategy. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and one of my clients, and I was like telling her about lines of credit and how to build your business credit and all of these things. And she was like, no one's ever taught me about this. And I'm like, Because people are not actually out here running real businesses. They're running little Instagram businesses, and you are not getting the real, like, actual how to be a CEO strategy that you need on the back end. Like, you're not learning about the systems, you're not learning about how to actually, like, have a team or manage those things. And I think that's what I really wanted to bring to the table is you come to me when you're ready to build a real business that's going to stand the test of time, not something that you are constantly in an up and down battle with trying to make a sale every single month. Like, it's just there's a very big difference. So I'm here for the people that are serious about building their companies. I'm here for people that really see themselves as a CEO and not just a small business owner. And I'm really here for the women that want to scale and create actual wealth, and build a life for themselves, give back to their families, and actually understand how to not just make money, but also manage money as well. Because I think that's something that's not talked about enough when you have the strategies to make the money, how to not just spend it all, and how to strategically invest, and where to be spending money, and when to save money, and all of these aspects, right? That just come down to being a savage about everything in your business, like being a savage about your standards, being a savage about the boundaries that you have, being a savage about strategy, being a savage about your future, be like, and being unapologetic. Really, when I say savage, I feel like unapologetic about what you are bringing to the table and what you want, and going after it and doing what it takes, right, to make that happen. So I want to challenge you to reflect on your own business and the parts that are not serving you anymore, and the parts of the clients that you have that you don't like. And what are you actually doing what it takes on a daily basis to go after what it is that you want? And if you're not willing to do what it takes, then maybe it's time to change that, because you have the power to, like, shed this, like, nice girl, I want to be everybody's friend vibe, and actually step into your savage CEO persona. And that's what I want for you, is to get really clear about what you're here for and who you're here for and what you're here to do in the long term, and start attracting the right people, demanding respect for your work, become that authority, and really look at what you're building in the long term. So there you have it. That's basically the reason behind the rebrand and the strategies that have gotten me to where I am today. And like I said, I noticed this massive gap in the industry in just, like, business coaches talking about business things and strategy. I was in this group the other day. It was supposed to be a business coaching group, and it's just like the shit that women are getting on in there and posting. There's no, it's like, this is not business. I want to bring back real business coaching and the strategy side of it, because I feel like we've gone so left field into this all feel good all the time energy, and it's absolute bullshit. And I think that more women would be happier in their business if they actually understood how a business works, if they actually had clarity in their action steps, if they actually knew, right, the how. Because one of the worst pieces of advice that I've ever heard in business is forget the how. It'll just happen. Like, you just have to feel it. Oh my God, I actually would rather die. I want to kill myself when I hear advice like that, because it's just, there's no substance to that whatsoever. There's no depth, and it's not helpful for anybody. And this is why women become broke. And this is the issue with this industry, is because anybody now can be a business coach and say, oh, I'll help you make all this money, when the reality is they're not making that money themselves behind the scenes. They're misleading their marketing, and they have no effing clue how to actually scale a business strategically. Like, if you don't know how to, like, help somebody close the gaps in their offer suite, create content that actually sells and is based and rooted in marketing psychology, if you don't know how to, walk somebody through an entire launch plan, then stop calling yourself, like, a business coach. I think that there's so many other terms that you could look at, like manifestation or energy or whatever it is, like feel good alignment coach. I don't give a fuck. But if you're not actually routed in strategy, your clients are going to suffer, your results are going to suffer, and your business is going to suffer. And I think that this is the issue, right? Where I knew that there was this space for me to come in and be a complete savage about my opinion around this, because I know that my work is what is the actual foundation to a successful business. So I'm excited that you're here for this next evolution. And I just want to thank you, number one, before we even get into any of the other episodes. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. I know some of you have been here with me for years, ever since I even started. You've been listening in, and some of you might be new and just finding me, but I'm just so grateful for your time and for you listening in to this. And I can't wait to truly truly bring some strategy into your lives and really help you actually set foundations up in your business that are going to bring in cash flow clients and that feeling of security, realistically, that secure feeling that you know where that next sale is coming from. Okay. So if you're ready to stop like wasting your time with all this fluff, woo shit, feel good vibes, and actually, right, be a savage about your strategy and get the results that you want, welcome, right? You found your new home. I am here to help you do just that. So I'm going to keep it really real with you. I'm going to keep it savage. We're going to get shit done. And I am so excited for this next evolution. So this has been the very first episode of Strategies of a CEO podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the gram and in our episodes every single week.